In this video, I'm going to share with you how to build your audience, and it does not involve paying for ads, building complicated funnels. It doesn't involve you just showing up every day. It doesn't involve with share better content. It involves a simple process that you can do every day that's infinitely scalable, but it's not sexy. It's not anything that's going to be fun to do, and it's going to be a bit of a grind, but it'll take you probably half an hour to an hour every day. And if you do it, it'll build your audience very quick with the right people, and it'll put you in a good position where you've got people that are interested in what you do. And if you want to find out how to do it, stick around because I'm going to show you. It's what we call everyday essentials, which is, as the name says, it's the essential stuff that you need to do every single day to not only just build the audience, but actually to build your business and make some money from your business. It's no good being the best kept secret. You might be hardworking, you might be honest and reliable and skilled and really good at what you do and passionate and really want to help. But if nobody knows who you are, if you don't have no audience around you, nobody's going to buy from you. And if you can't do these everyday essentials when you don't feel like showing up, then, you're always going to find it a challenge. You're never going to build anything meaningful in your life or in your business. You've got to do this boring stuff repeatedly. Now, it's not about just showing up. It's about showing up with a reason. It's showing up with a purpose. And a good friend of mine, don't tell him this, by the way, because he'll be all big-headed and stuff, but a good friend of mine, CK, he once said to me, John, we want to play with purpose, because if we're not playing with purpose, we're just playing at it. And if we're going to make an impact, we need to have purpose behind it. Again, do not tell him that I've just admitted that it's his saying, because that'll bring him all sorts of kind of crazy shit joy. But anyway, right, so everyday essentials. Let me tell you what this is all about. It's the things you need to do every single day. We start off by, firstly, you've got to understand two things. You need a list. And we have two different types of lists. We have your perfect future client list, which is your ideal customers, and you have your influence list. These are people who are in your space that have already built a huge audience, that's got a lot of following, that's somewhat celebrities in their space. And we've got to go through layers to get there. You start at the bottom, and when you very first start, you start as somebody that's a bit of a specialist. Or maybe even before that, you may be a generalist where you're generally good at a lot of things, but you're not specialised not on just one. The next thing that you do is, as you start to level up, you get a little bit more experience, you get a little bit more knowledge, you become an expert in your space, and you go all the way through until you become a celebrity. And if you think about it, you probably know lots of people who's gone on that same journey who are now a celebrity. These are the influencers in your space that's got a big audience. So the two things that we need to have a list of your perfect future clients. Now, what I would say is, if you don't know who that is, please stop the video. I'll put a link somewhere, it'll pop up on the screen, and it'll give you a link to a video that will show you how to create and get clear about who your perfect clients are, your ideal customers. Do that first. Please do that first, because everything after that will be easier. If you don't do that, you're just going to literally just spray and pray that something works, and that's never a good strategy. So if you have the list, great, let's continue. So what we need to do is we need to put this list down, and these are really the ones that are never going to grumble about the price. They're not going to interfere. They're going to let you work your magic. They're not going to be bothered that you've chased them up, you've asked them to do things, and you have to chase them and poke them and prod them. Perfect clients don't do that. They show up, they pay you, they do what you tell them to do, and they get out of your way so you can work the magic. That's the perfect future client. That's what we want to have. So we need to have a list, and you want to have a list somewhere where you can manage and keep on top of that list. If you use Sales Navigator, you can build lists on there. I use a piece of software called Breakcold, which is similar to Sales Navigator in many ways, and you can build lists. I have little segmented audiences in there where you'll have my clients, people that I'm prospecting, the industry, the sector, and I'll break it all down so we can use that list every single day. The second thing is to do the same, but then do it, as I explained here, with people who are considered influencers in your space. So you've got a list for your perfect future clients and a list for people that's influential. Now you've got that, great. Let's move on to the next thing that we need to do. So every single day, there's certain things, as I mentioned, what we need to do. These are called everyday essentials. We need to do 20 connection requests with your ICPs or perfect future clients, whatever you want to call them. But if you're not connecting with them every day, your audience is actually going to shrink, because the algorithms really kind of playing heavy against a lot of people right now. People leave. People are zombies on the platforms that they use. And let's just say that you're going to use LinkedIn, for example. People don't always show up. People stop using it. People change jobs. If you're not adding new people to your LinkedIn connections every single day, you are actually losing people. Your audience is going to shrink. If you're doing Instagram or TikTok or wherever it is, if you're not adding people every day, your list, your audience, it's shrinking. So the first non-negotiable is to do this every single day. Now, the beauty of it is there is tools and there's software out there that can help you. And I'll put some links in the description or wherever you're watching this, I'll put some links. What you have is, if you use LinkedIn, there's a load of different LinkedIn automation tools where you will put a filtered search in, identify who your audience is, your ideal customers, your perfect future clients. It'll filter them all out. You can do a radius, your area, location, whatever it is, and it'll pull 1,000 through, or however many it will find. And you can get that to do the connection for you every day. So once you've done the initial 20 minutes, half an hour's worth of work to filter them, the software will do the rest, and it'll just keep on running every single day until it's burnt through that entire list. You want to obviously check from time to time, make sure that the people are accepting, the acceptance rate is high. I generally get around 35 to 45% acceptance rate, which is pretty good. I think that anything less than 20%, you probably need to be looking at who your audience is. Maybe they're just not active on LinkedIn. There's different tools that you can use to do something very, very similar on Instagram as well. And if you do some research, there'll be loads of tools that do it for TikTok, for Facebook, for wherever you spend your time or your audience spend their time, there will be a tool that can help you to automate this. The next thing then is, from these lists that you've created, your perfect client list and your influence list, what we want to do is we want to do 10 comments on their posts each day. Now, that's not saying every time that list gets bigger, you've got to do 10 more, and all of a sudden you're doing 150 a day. That's not what it's about, but it's about you doing something every day on some of that list. So you can cherry pick and go through and start to appear, put that work in there. And I'm not talking about you just posting and saying, nice post, great picture, whatever it is. Actually put a little bit of personalization behind it, put a little bit of thought in it. If they're sharing something to read it, guys, come on. Like, it takes very little time to be interested. And there's a saying, isn't there, that if you want to be interesting, you have to be interested. So again, if you can try and understand their world better, the easiest way for you to do that is to read what they're sharing, watch what they're posting, go and actually invest some time in these people that you want to help. Don't just treat it as a mass for all. Spend some time, dig deep, understand them, get to know them, so that when you do finally start to speak with them, you actually have some commonality, you have something that thinks, do you know what, actually, we probably will really enjoy working with each other, rather than you going in and saying, okay, cool, tell me what your problems are. Like, the professionals don't go in and ask them what their problems are. Professionals go in and they know their problems. And that's what you want to be, is you want to be the experts, the professionals. You want to be the practitioners who know the challenges, know the problems, know the solutions. You don't need to be asking for it. Cool. The next 10 is on your influence list. So these are people, again, like I mentioned, who have a big audience already. For example, if you're in the kind of personal development space, Tony Robbins, he's got millions and millions of followers. You can start to go and obviously engage in the stuff, and you can do it two ways. You can either co-sign what they're doing, so you agree with it and you add your perspective to it, or you disagree with it because it's not something that you actually think is the right way, the modern way, the new way, whatever that is. And it's not about you being contrarian and argumentative for the purpose of doing that. It's just putting your point across. Let me tell you why this is important. And I'm sure this has probably happened to you. Have you ever followed somebody, looked at somebody, clicked on their profile because you saw them do the same thing in someone's post, either agreeing or disagreeing, and it made you think? You did, didn't you? Yes, you did, because I've done it as well, and that's why I can say it with authority. You've done it, I've done it, we all do it, because when you see somebody else's perspective, it makes you think. Even if it's a disagreement or an agreement, but if it's just a lazy post, nobody's going to pay attention to you. What we're really looking for is them influencers to start to engage with you. The minute they start to engage with you, your profile by default lifts, because people then associate you with them. And that's what we're looking at doing. So every single day you should spend a little bit of time doing this. The next thing that we need to be looking at doing is from the people that you're communicating with, who's your ideal customers, your perfect future clients, we want to be having 5, I'm going to put like an email, it's not an email, it's a DM, but we want to be looking to have around 5 conversations in the DMs every single day. And this is not you going in there saying, hey, seen you do this, Bob, I do this, do you want to buy it? It's about you going in there and having meaningful conversations and finding out if they're open to the idea of having some help. It's what we call permission-based selling, and I'll show you a quick little process to do that in one of these next slides as well. So we're looking at doing 5 of those every day. So what we're saying so far, connect 20 people every single day. Connect with 20 people who are your absolute ideal customers. The next thing is get 10 comments fired up, ready to go, that's really thoughtful, that's actually personalized, that's got some meaning behind it, and comment on the people who you're trying to sell to, the audience who you're trying to build. Then 10 comments on the people who's already built an audience, the influencers of your space, the people who are the celebrities in what you do. 10 on them. After that, the 10 people who's in your audience, and the previous 10 from the day before, and the 20 from the day before, and the 100 from last week, the ones that are starting to build around you, that's your audience. And guess what? It's your perfect future audience as well, because these are the people that you really want to work with. And what you're really looking at doing is having 5 meaningful conversations with them every single day. And ultimately, what that's going to lead to is where you offer some help to support them in their business, in their journey, in their life. Whatever it is that you do, you can then offer to help them. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So it's a process that we call ChatPath. And ChatPath really is all about you getting that engagement. So that's where the engagement happens through different things that's happened. You know, they've liked your post, you've commented on theirs, they've shared some good news, whatever it is that's going on there. There's some activity that's occurred that's allowed you to start this engagement. So what you do is you show up in their world and you start this conversation flowing. This process, or following this process, there's nowhere in this process that you are going to try and sell anything until they've given you permission to do so. And what we're going to do is we're going to take them through a little journey, and we're going to find out a little bit about who they are. We're going to find out where they are, if they have any challenges, any gap, do you know what they have right now, where they are, where they want to be, what's the bit in the middle, what it is that they need in order to do that. Would they be open to the idea of getting some help to do that, and a suggestion of your way to help them. And this is the one thing that we want to be looking at doing each day, by having meaningful conversations with at least 5 people. Now, let me just clarify something. That doesn't mean only do 5 a day. If you've got a few different conversations that's going, don't stop because you've done 5. Make 5 the benchmark, the minimum that you're trying to do. The good thing with this is that once you've got this system right, anyone can do this. Anyone in your team can do this. You can outsource this. You can pay someone who's a freelancer to do this. You can give it to somebody else to do this. Your admin, your PA, your team. Like, it doesn't have to be just you who does this. Anybody can follow this process and do it. And it doesn't require any special skill sets to do it other than following a process along this way. And if you can follow that process, it works. If you don't, it gets a little bit clunky. Stick to the process, follow it through. So that's what we're looking at doing. We're looking at engaging. We're going to qualify to see whether they have a need. We're going to confirm that they want some help on that. And if they decide that they want to buy it, you're going to convert them into a paying customer. If you do this every day, if you do this every single day and show up, you're going to get deals every week. You're going to get new leads every day, deals every week, and your business is going to be fun. You're not going to have to spend all day thinking about what to post. You're not going to have to think about networking. You're not going to have to think about all these millions and thousands of hundreds of different things that you're going to do every single day. You just get a simple process to follow. A, B, C. Done. So that's the process. It's pretty straightforward. You follow it from one path to the next and you get a sale. So if you've enjoyed this video, firstly, don't forget, like it. That helps a lot and I really appreciate it. Like the page. Or subscribe, that's what you call it. You don't like it, you subscribe to the page, do that, tell somebody else about it. If there's anything that you've particularly liked, leave me a comment about it. What I will do is I'll put a video somewhere here that talks about the kind of big picture that we're looking at doing with companies and how we're helping them. Might be right for you, might not be. Check it out, get a quick watch. And if you want a copy of these worksheets that we've got, I'm going to put a link below. I'll also put a link to a little custom GPT AI bot that I've built that'll help you have this ChatPath conversation as well. So again, click the links, subscribe, leave me some comments, give me some love, and we'll see you for the next video.